Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Becca, and I'm the marketing manager for Travel Perks. For those of you who are clients of ours, it's great to see you. For those of you who may not be familiar with Travel Perks, I want to let you know just a little bit about us before we get to our main event. Travel Perks is a full service travel agency based in Oregon, but we serve the entire United States. We've been in business for over 2 decades and are the most award winning dream vacations franchise. We built our business on a simple motto that you shouldn't have to sacrifice good service to find great savings. Our team of travel agents help you find the perfect vacation while maximizing your savings and bonuses along the way. We work with all the major vacation suppliers from contemporary cruise lines to utmost luxury to resorts, tours, custom trips, and groups. It's our partnerships with vacation providers that allow us to bring you the best deals, which is part of how we are able to bring this webinar program to you today. Royal Caribbean is our partner of the month for February. If you book a new 7-night or above 2025 Royal Caribbean cruise through us before the end of the month, you'll receive a free spa treatment for that sailing, on top of all other direct and combinable offers. We expect our conversation here today to last about 30 to 45 minutes, and we'll have time for questions at the end. If you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A function or in the chat function in this webinar. Either is great. I'll be keeping an eye out for those in both locations throughout and at the end of the presentation. And you will absolutely want to stay until the end. We have a few gift baskets of Royal Caribbean swag to give away, which include a certificate of $100 of onboard credit for your next Royal Caribbean cruise, which is very exciting. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce the wonderful Janice Martinez of Royal Caribbean.
Fantastic. Thank you, Becca. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Janice Martinez. I'm the Strategic Account Manager for Royal Caribbean, based here in Oregon. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about myself because I will be your cruise director today. So on all of our ships, my favorite ship, or our entire fleet, I should say, will be Quantum of the Sea. She's absolutely stunning, and I'm going to talk about her in a little bit. My favorite destination of all time is probably Italy, like most people, just because Italy is so great. You got pasta, you got pizza, you got wine, you have chocolates. What else can you ask for? And then, of course, I have two beautiful dachshunds. They're my pride and joy, and they're absolutely amazing. So that's a little bit about me. But moving on to our cruise night today. I just want to thank again Travel Perks for having me today. We always recommend with Royal Caribbean to book with a travel advisor because they are real people. They're so well connected and they really know the difference between a great price, a great deal, and a great value. And the best part is the travel agents are always paying attention to the details and they're always there to advocate for you. So talk to Travel Perks about many options that we're going to talk about today. So who is Royal Caribbean? What is our mission statement? So we are all about inspiring that sense of adventure. We want to broaden your horizon. We want to bring you to life and we want to connect you with all the people. We are a multi-generation brand of cruise lines. And so our guests are pretty much everyone. We cater to families, we cater to couples, solo travelers, as well as group travelers. And we're so fortunate that we're able to do that because we have a variety of ships to select from. The services that we provide on board are unparalleled. And of course, we go to over 300 ports of call. So just to give you an idea, we currently have 7 different ship classes. Each ship class has similarities as well as unique features, and our 2 newest and largest classes are going to be Oasis class as well as Icon class. And with all of these ships, we have 28, soon to be 29 ships overall, divided into these different ship classes. What you'll find on every single ship is we'll always have a rock climbing wall, we'll always have a Broadway style theater, of course a pool, that's a must. We'll always have a sports court, a casino, conference center, and things like that. But we have so many innovations in our ships that you'll find. I just want to call out some of the things that we were the first ones to do, such as ice skating, for instance, rock climbing wall. We were the first ones to have a zip line on our ship. The Ultimate Abyss, which is a dry slide that spans 10 decks, as well as escape room and laser tag. The two ships that I want to talk about today, are ship classes, I should say. We'll focus on Oasis class as well as Icon class. So our Oasis class comprises of 6 different ships. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're made of 7 different neighborhoods, from the boardwalk to the promenade, which is the heart of the ship. My favorite is Central Park. You could listen to the jazz music, have a cup of coffee, listen to the birds. It is so much fun in there and it's so relaxing. And then over on our Icon class, this is our newest class of ship. This is built for families, built for everyone. There's so many things to do. There's, similar to Oasis class, there are 8 different neighborhoods on Icon. So for instance, we have Thrill Island, we have Surfside, which focuses on the family aspect of it. We have Chill Island, which focuses on the pools. There are 7 different pools on Icon of the Seas. Aquadome, the Promenade, and of course, Central Park. So I'm going to go over a few neighborhoods so you can familiarize yourself with this. Starting off with Thrill Island. Hopefully my video is playing okay. But Thrill Island, it is so much fun. This is the first fully dedicated neighborhood to thrills. The largest water park at sea. You'll see 6 different slides on there. We also have Crown's Edge, where you see that video playing. So if you've ever done iFly before, it's sort of a similar experience in that you have the same preparation. Well, you'll wear the gear, you'll get your harnesses on, and you can see the participant on here. They're wearing it, and before you know it, you're walking along the edge of the ship, which is really nice. And then the plank drops from beneath you, and then it circles you around the ship. There's a small charge for this, but it is an unbelievable experience. I had the opportunity to do this. Oh my gosh, it was so scary, but it was so much fun. I don't recommend doing it at night just because it's really dark, especially when you're doing it at sea. But during the day, we record it and we send you the video so you can post it, but it is a lot of fun. Heading over to one of my favorite neighborhoods called the Hideaway. The best part about the Hideaway on Icon of the Seas is the fact that it is adults only. So this is located on deck 15, where we have the Hideaway pool. It's the very first suspended infinity pool at sea. It's located at the center of the Hideaway neighborhood. It's fantastic. It's just for adults only. You also have that sort of a dedicated DJ. It has that beach club vibe, which is really nice. And this is a complimentary neighborhood, so adults can just hang out there, relax, watch the sunset, maybe read a book, enjoy the sun. So it is really awesome. And then one of the stunning features of Icon class as well is the Aquadome. So the Aquadome neighborhood, it's an enclosed aqua theater, which is located on deck 14 and 15. This is the largest freestanding dome at sea with 180-degree uninterrupted views with the Aquadome neighborhood. It transforms from a tranquil oasis during the day to an entertainment powerhouse at night. So you can see it on this video. This is one of our entertainment with the waterfalls. It is absolutely stunning. And then on the right side, you'll see the overlook as well as the overlook pods. There's also a coffee place there called Ryan Bean. So in the evening, you can order an espresso martini, and we have that on tap. So with thinking about the ships, hopefully you're familiar with some of our ships. I want to talk about some of the accommodations that we offer with Royal Caribbean. So we have a variety that you can select from, whether it's an interior cabin, an ocean view cabin, different types of balcony, like a neighborhood balcony. On the very center of this, you'll see an infinite family ocean view balcony where the window drops down. And then on the other side, you have where the kids could sleep. We also have, of course, traditional ocean view balcony cabins also. And then, of course, we have suites, because the suites are one of a kind. This is built for entertainment. We have multi-bedroom suites that can accommodate up to 16 guests. We have an ultimate family suite that's 3 stories high, complete with your very own backyard. And with our suite programs, there's so many different amenities that you can pick from. from exclusive dining at our Coastal Kitchen, which is our suite-only restaurant, to backstage and bridge tour, to really an all-inclusive experience with the beverage package, dining, internet, and then your very own Royal Genie, which is our own butler. So now you know which ship you're going to take, where you're going to stay once you're on board. So where the heck is Royal Caribbean going? So now you want to talk about, hey, I want to go to Asia. I want to go to Australia. Well, we do go to Australia. This is an absolutely fantastic experience. We port out of Sydney as well as Brisbane. We go to the South Pacific, including New Zealand. We also go to Asia, and that includes China, Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Canada and New England during the fall, of course, is very, very popular. And I would be remiss if I don't mention the Caribbean, because nobody does the Caribbean more than Royal Caribbean. So we have 37 different ports of call that just go to the Caribbean. We've got 2 private destinations and 20 different ships that just go to the Caribbean. So how we have our Caribbean itineraries, we have it divided into 4 different categories. So we have your Bahamas and Bermuda. We have the Eastern and Western Caribbean, which typically have more of a Hispanic culture to them. And then the Southern Caribbean is my favorite. It's quite different, and it is a favorite amongst many guests. That's because the destinations tie in that British as well as French roots. And the best part about sailing to the Caribbean is you can go as many times and still experience a different culture every time. So to give you an itinerary here, a sample itinerary, we've got a 7-night Southern Caribbean itinerary. This one specifically starts out of San Juan, and that includes St. Croix, which is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then it goes to the ABC Island, which is Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And then an alternative to that is you can do an Eastern Caribbean sailing that'll include the St. Islands. That'll be St. Thomas, St. Kitts, and all of that. If you want to go and do Western Caribbean, we typically will leave out of Miami or Port Canaveral or even Galveston. These sailings will typically include Costa Maya, Roatan, Honduras, Cozumel, and then our private island, Perfect Day. Or I mentioned the Eastern Caribbean earlier. That would include St. Thomas and St. Martin. And if you're looking for just sort of a sample, maybe you're not quite sure yet if you want to go to the Caribbean, or you've never cruised before, we do have short Caribbean sailings that leave either out of Port Canaveral, out of Miami, or Fort Lauderdale, and that'll include the Bahamas. So that'll include Nassau, as well as Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is our private island. This is what Perfect Day at Coco Cay looks like. It is an absolutely stunning experience getting there. It is so beautiful. I always tell people our private island is essentially an extension of our ships. So we have sort of a thrill and chill aspect of it. What you'll see on the island is that the umbrellas, the beach chairs, those are all complimentary. Those are all included. You can do as much as you want on the island, or you can do as little as you want. It's really up to you. I'm going to play this video and I'm going to sort of narrate it for you just to give you an idea what Perfect Day looks like. So this is an overview of Perfect Day at Coco Cay. The nice thing about this is that we have our own dock, so it's very easy to get on and off the ship. You're going to be greeted by the tallest water slide in North America. It is absolutely incredible. This is 11 stories high. So much fun. And then you walk over and you'll see, as part of the water park, you get the water slides, but you also have the wave pool. You also have this obstacle course pool, and then more slides. That obstacle course pool, even though it's meant for kids, it's mostly adults that are hanging out there just because those obstacle courses are so much fun to do. And then you can walk over. We have a specialty dining place called Captain Jack's. They specialize in wings, chicken wings. And then when you walk over outside of the water park, we do have Splashaway Bay right here, which is perfect for the families. And we also have a shipwreck called Captain Jill's Galleon. This is perfect for the family. It's full of water cannons and dry slides. As an optional shore excursion, we also have the zip line that you can do. 1,600 feet across, but really, this is where you're going to find me. So sorry. Sorry about that. So Coco, oh, my voice is hoarse. So Cocoa Beach Club is an elevated beach club. Give me one moment. There we go. Sorry about that. So that was Cocoa Beach Club. It's an elevated beach club with a quarter mile, beautiful private beach. This is up and away. This is another optional shore excursion that you can choose. It is a hot air balloon tethered to the ground, so you're not going to fly off and end up back on the ship. But that's what perfect day looks like in a nutshell. If that's not your jam and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many water parks, I'm thinking more, I want an adult experience. Well, fear not. We have an adult only area and it's called Hideaway Beach, which is fantastic. This opened up for us just about a year ago and it is adults only. It's 18 and over. There's 2 casual food spots. You do buy a day pass for this, but you get a bar. There's 5 bars in there. There's also casual food spots. Oh my gosh, the coconut shrimp is fantastic. We've got lockers there. The best part is the pool is also heated. So if you sail during the winter, you won't have to worry about being cold. And speaking of being cold, I want to talk about another destination that we go to, and that is Alaska. So we're so fortunate this year we have 4 different ships that go to Alaska. 2 of these ships will go out of Seattle. And then we have a ship that sails out of Vancouver, BC, and then a ship that will sail out of either Vancouver, BC or Seward in Alaska. And just to give you an idea of what a sample itinerary looks like, the one in blue, that will be out of Seattle. So it's a round trip sailing out of Seattle. This itinerary will include, it'll take you as far north as Skagway before it turns around and brings you back down south, where on the way you'll be able to cruise through Endicott Arm, Dawes Glacier, and it'll have a stop in Juneau as well as Victoria. And then the one in the orange is a southbound route from Seward that'll take you to Vancouver, but this will have a stop in Hubbard Glacier. And then you can also run it with our, excuse me, our cruise tour program. And the cruise tour program that we do have, it is absolutely fantastic. So these are some of the cities that you are going to be visiting if you're doing a cruise tour. It allows you to have a more experience, what do you call it? Better experience to really experience that culture of Alaska. So you'll go to Icy Strait Point. There we go. Fairbanks, Denali Park, Talkeetna, Anchorage, as well as Alyeska. The cruise tour portion is probably the best way to see inland Alaska. And it's really a combination of sort of a multi-night land tour, and then you're staying in a centrally located 4 or 5-star property, but it gives you that authentic interior of Alaskan experience. If you're like, oh my gosh, I live in the Northwest, I don't want to go to Alaska, it's too cold. Well, that's okay. We have more options for you. So if you're, again, maybe a first-time cruiser, you're thinking, I just want to be closer to home. Well, we do have West Coast sailing, specifically out of Los Angeles. So we've got sailings that are 3 nights, 4 nights, as well as 7-night itineraries. You leave out of LA, you either go to Ensenada in Mexico, or you can do a 4-night that stops in Catalina or Ensenada, or a full-on 7-night that includes Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, as well as Mazatlan. Or if you're thinking, hey, I've been to all these places, but I kind of want to spend more time in Cabo. Well, fear not, we also have these itineraries. So starting this summer, we have a Quantum class ship, which is the same ship that goes to Alaska. That will offer these overnight Cabo sailings. So they're 3, 5, and 6-night sailings. They're absolutely incredible. And we'll stay there for the full 24 hours. It's a true overnight sailing. So if you decide, hey, I want to stay out as late as possible and take the tender back to the ship, you can. So just to give you an itinerary, here's what it looks like. This is the starting off in LA, and then you'll sail off to Catalina and then Ensenada, or if you want to go to Cabo, you go to Ensenada and then Cabo, and then you shoot back up to LA. And if you're thinking, Janice, these are all great, but now I really want to experience culture, but hey, we have Europe sailings as well. So we've got 9 ships that will sail to Europe. We have 6 departure ports and 77 different ports of call in Europe. So you can leave out of Barcelona, you can leave out of Rome, Athens, Ravenna in Italy, which is closer to Venice, or Southampton and Amsterdam. So just to give you an idea, just kidding, I moved a little too quickly. Push back. There we go. Here's our sample itineraries. So if you want to do a med cruise, you can either leave out of Barcelona or Rome. You can follow along with me here with that blue line. So out of Barcelona, that'll take you the paths to go to Palma de Mallorca in Spain. Then you can go to Provence in France. And then you have 3 ports in Italy. You have Florence, Rome, as well as Naples before disembarking back in Barcelona. If you leave out of Rome, it'll be the same process. It'll just be flip going into Rome instead of Barcelona. And if you want to do Greek Isles, you can leave out of Rome as well. So that will embark in Rome, and then you'll visit Santorini as well as Mykonos, and then you'll go to Ephesus in Turkey before heading over to Naples and Capri. If you decide to do a Norwegian fjord cruise, you can either leave out of Amsterdam or Southampton. These 7-night Norwegian fjords are absolutely fantastic. I don't want to butcher the names of the cities, so I'm just going to say these are Norwegian fjords that you are going to be visiting. And I have the itinerary right there for you. And then coming in 2026, I talked about Icon of the Seas a lot because we are launching a 3rd Icon class ship next summer. And that Icon class ship is going to be doing a 7-night Mediterranean cruise starting from Barcelona. So that itinerary that I talked about that goes to Palma, that goes to Provence and Florence and Rome and Naples, that's going to be on this incredible ship. So you're going to have a really busy itinerary with tons of history and then a beautiful ship. So you're not going to sleep. It's going to be great. By the time you get home, your vacation will start because you're going to need a rest from your vacation. So talking about some of the programs and resources that we do have, we want you to be able to customize your vacation. So talk to the Travel Perks team to really make this vacation your own. We, of course, offer shore excursion. We offer a beverage package. We have spas, internet, specialty dining, and things like that. So the dining and beverage package, again, you can customize it however you want, whether it's a 3-night dining package, if you want it to be unlimited. These beverage package, again, you can select if you want an all-inclusive experience or you just want maybe a water package or a soda package and things like that. Again, talk to the Travel Perks team and they can assist you with all of this. So now you know the ship, you know where you're going to go, you know what cabin you're going to stay at. Let's talk about what you're going to do once you're on the ship. Because remember, I talked about you're not really going to sleep because you're going to be so excited and so amped. Now let's talk about some of the entertainment that we have on board. So with Royal Caribbean, we're so fortunate that we set the cruise industry standard with a full-scale production. This is every night. This is on every cruise. So this is all included in your cruise fare. So we're the only cruise line that is offering these Broadway musicals with a live orchestra, which you'll find on Icon of the Seas, like Wizard of Oz. And then on our future Star of the Seas this summer, we have Back to the Future. And in addition to that, outside of the Broadway shows, we also have our own production shows from stage to water, such as the Aqua Theater, which you'll see on here. These are divers and acrobats that's doing this whilst we're sailing. It is phenomenal. And then we also have these transformational spaces. These are on board our Quantum class ships, where we have entertainment both day and night. The 270 lounge is incredible. We have, look at all this 3D flying technology. We've got drones that perform. And then we have all these incredible ice skating shows with professional skaters. And if you're looking to just kind of relax in the evening and not do any of the shows, that's okay. We have a ton of options for you as well. We've got bars. So if you're just thinking about maybe I'll just have a glass of wine or some cocktails, we do have a casino as well. We've got game shows. We've got a 70s night on every single sailing, which is so much fun. And then, of course, we'll always have live music and dancing. And for my families, I do want to talk about some of the activities that we do have that's being offered. So not only will your kids have a great time, but I'm a little bit biased, I will say, but our Adventure Ocean staff is truly the best. They are absolutely incredible at what they do. In order to be even qualified, they have to have a bachelor's degree in education. They have to have an extensive background check. These are the staff to child ratio. And many of them speak other languages, whether it's Spanish or French or German. So really, we want everybody to be included. And then for our kids and teens activities and programs, we have games, we have events for them throughout the day. We also, in the evening, we host tournaments for them. So that includes basketball tournaments, dodgeball. We also have nightclub where we have team members and crew that are there as well. And every single sailing is also autism friendly. So this is very important to Royal Caribbean. So with an autism friendly cruise, you do get the priority check-in as well as boarding and departure. We have gluten-free as well as other dietary offerings. We have autism friendly films. So again, talk to your Travel Perks team and we can put something together for them. And if there are any other special needs that you need, whether it's mobility or hearing disabilities, special diets, gluten-free, vegan, things like that, talk to the Travel Perks team so we can get connected and make sure that this happens for you. And lastly, I do want to talk about the February promotions in partnership with Travel Perks. So we are currently offering 60% off the second guest and then 30% off third and fourth guest. So it's a BOGO offer, buy one, get the second at 60%. We're also offering kids sail free. And as an exclusive perk with booking with Travel Perks, we are also offering, or I should say, they're also offering a complimentary spa treatment experience for one if you book a 7-night sailing in a balcony or above category. So with that, again, I want to thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. Becca, are there any questions that I can answer for you?
I'm not seeing many. Just a reminder, if you do have questions for Janice, please feel free to drop them either in the Q&A widget or in the chat, and we can get those answered for you. But I do have a question for you, Janice.
Yes, of
And first of
course.
all, thank you again so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it and
Of
appreciate you.
course.
Yeah. Um, do you have any recommendations for, maybe a ship or itinerary for somebody who's completely new to Royal Caribbean?
Yeah, so for somebody that's new to Royal Caribbean, I took my family for the first time, their first cruise ever last September, and we did a 4-night sailing on Utopia of the Seas out of Port Canaveral. We live in Portland, so it was super easy for us. We have a nonstop flight here that got us to Orlando at a decent time. We spent some time at Universal, and then we did a Monday sailing because it's a 4-night, and then we went to Nassau and Perfect Day. Our family there was, I think, 19 of us. And we had somebody who was 18 months old all the way to 20-year-old. And then we have the adults. So the kids had a terrific time. That's how I heard all about the things for them to do, whether it's clubbing or dodgeball and things like that. They had so much fun. And then the adults, of course, had their time away as well. The spa was fantastic too. That's what I
Oh, that sounds great.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you had kind of highlighted the infinite family balconies with the area for the kiddos for their own. Is that
Yeah.
unique to the Icon class, or are those on other ships as well?
Yeah, so that one is unique to the icon class. So I really like that category because it extends your living space so much more. The only caveat to that, of course, is it's not a true like balcony where you can go outside. You still can take the windows down and it'll still give you the fresh air, which is really nice. It's just not where you step out. But if you have kids and you're sailing with multiple people, that extra square footage of that balcony is bar none the best.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like a great option. So I just wanted
Yeah,
to call that out. And
absolutely.
yeah, it looks like we do have a few questions in here now too.
Perfect.
So Star is asking, they are new to Royal Caribbean. Do we book shows before sailing?
Yeah, we always recommend pre-booking the shows if you can. However, we do have box offices on board, so you can do it either on the app once you get on board, or you can get in line at the box office and they'll make all of your reservations for you. Oh, and then on that note too, so if for some reason you're like waitlisted or you can't get something confirmed, we let everybody in. So the people with the reservation goes in about 10 or 15 minutes prior, and then we open it up for everybody as first come, first serve right after. So really, the reservation is great, so you can pick your seat, especially if you're a large group. But if you don't make a reservation, it's not the end of the world.
Great. And kind of related, we have another question to that. Someone just booked their cruise, but they don't see very many options for what to do on board in the app. Do those get uploaded later or closer to the cruise?
Yes, so it'll be updated about 30 to 60 days prior to sailing is when you'll see everything for that specific sailing.
Great. And question about airfare. Do you recommend getting the air through Royal Caribbean?
It's really up to you. The nice thing is if you book your air through us with the help of Travel Perks is that you don't have to pay it in full. You can pay it in full when your cruise is also due for final payment. So it gives you that flexibility. And if for some reason there's a schedule change or a mixed connection the day of, we'll get you, it has a guaranteed arrival, so we'll get you to the next port of call. But if you are someone who's traveling with multiple people and you like to sort of select your own, it has to be very specific, then I would recommend booking it yourself just to give you that flexibility too.
Great. Another question regarding large groups. How does dining in the main dining room work for a big group?
So if you're working with Travel Perks, they will arrange it for you. So what we'll do is our groups team will reach out to Travel Perks and they'll say, hey, this group is a group of, let's say, 40. These are and it has to be assigned time, not necessarily my time dining. And then we'll do like sort of a round robin where we'll assign, hey, this is going to be their table for the next 7 nights, 10 nights, however long your cruise is, and that's going to be your area. If you're booked in a my time dining and you have a large party, then I would recommend making a reservation every night for like 7 o'clock or 6:45 or whatever it is. You don't necessarily have to come in at that time every night, but at least you have a reservation because it cuts down on the waiting in line. And then just talk to the maitre d' on your first day of sailing and say, hey, here's a group of us. We all want to sit together. We're dining at, we have my time dining at 6:30 or 6:45 or whatever, and we want to all sit together, and then they'll look at what's available and then book it for you.
That's great. Yep. And then a suggestion kind of based on the airfare from Rose here, just mentioned that if you're traveling a long distance, come in the day before your cruise, especially if you're flying. Could not agree more, especially if you got a
Yes.
long cruise vacation plan. Don't want to miss that
Yeah.
embarkation, especially, like us West Coasters going to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Definitely
Absolutely.
recommend that.
Well, and you just never know with what's happening. I once had a flight that was going to Miami. It was the launch of Icon, and we got snowed. And
Oh
that was the
no.
same time the Alaska thing was happening with Boeing, and so they were canceling flights left and right. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go. And by the grace of everything, I made it. And but they ended up booking me on a red eye flight to Fort Lauderdale, and the cruise was out of Miami. So I got there at like 10 a.m. and then took the Uber and got there, and they were boarding. Luckily, the ship didn't leave until 4, but still, it was kind of nerve-wracking. So
Yeah.
yes, book it way ahead, a few days before, so you could also explore the port that you're going to.
Wow, I don't think I had heard that story before, Janice.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was so stressful.
Yeah,
But we
but
made
yeah.
it.
Great. And another question here. Do all the cruises have a land tour portion where you stay on land and board a few days later?
So, do you mean like pre-cruise, or are you talking about specifically like the cruise tour for Alaska?
That's a great question. Feliz, am I saying that right? If you could clarify, would yeah, I'd love to get that answered for you. In the meantime, I'll go to this next one. They say we had a group of 16 once and we were able to get seated quickly with anytime dining. Oh, this is more just a comment
Perfect.
regarded to group dining, so that's great. And
That's
they got
awesome.
seated in 2 tables close together each night. Um,
Excellent.
so yeah, I will say just so accommodating. The team's on board always, so
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Um, yeah, we'll see if we can get details here regarding the land tour portions. Or do you just want to address kind of both ways, Janice?
Yeah. So if it's typically the land portion is really just on our cruise tour program. However, if you're thinking about something else, whether it's pre or post cruise, that's where the travel perks team will come in and schedule things for you. In fact, when I did my med cruise a few years ago, I booked my own air, but I had them book my hotel, they booked my transfers, they booked my tour when I got to, where was I? When I got to Barcelona. So I had some tours when I was there. So that worked out really well. So definitely talk to them because they can put something together for you and also put some recommendations for you.
Great. Yep, looks like they did say I went to Alaska and they had this, so I was wondering if others have this. So,
Yeah.
yep, perfect. Great. Any other questions out there? Feel free to drop them in the chat, but I think we're kind of getting down there. Should we do some prizes, Janice?
Yeah, sounds good. What do
Yeah.
we have?
Would you like to tell everybody what we have here, courtesy of Royal Caribbean?
We
So,
have
in
this
front of Anna,
really nice Royal Caribbean tote. Does that have a zipper too? I think it has a zipper as
it
well.
does have a zipper. Let me see if I can get my background off here just so can see this a little bit better.
There
Is
we
that better?
go.
There
And
we go.
that has beach towels. What else is in there? What else can
Yep.
we throw in there? So you're ready for your vacation.
Yep. Royal
Water
Caribbean water
bottle.
bottle. We have some packing cubes as well.
Oh, those are always
Lovely.
helpful to have too.
Very helpful. So yeah, and so we have two of these. One's got a
Perfect.
blue towel and one has a pink towel, which I will demonstrate here shortly. So um, say, oh, and of course the $100 onboard credit
Yep.
for next cruise is also in these. So yeah, we've got two to give away.
Perfect.
Whoever wins first, how about they get to pick the color of their towel? Does that sound good?
There you go. Good luck,
Great.
everyone.
Woohoo! And I have a little wheel here of names. I'll give it a spin, and here we go. Spinning. I don't know if you can hear the sound effect. Very exciting. All right. Do we have Caitlin M still on the call? Caitlin Meskimen? Is that right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, there she is. Woo,
Woohoo!
congratulations. If you would like to send me your email address in the chat, you can just send it to the hosts. That would be fantastic. Otherwise, I should have it in the Zoom information as well. But we'll make sure that you get your prizes and your onboard credit, which is very exciting.
Woohoo!
Mhm. Um, and let us know if you want the pink or the blue towel as well, and then we'll get that off to you. It does look
Perfect.
like um, oh, and looks like she actually had a question too right
Oh,
before we do the name.
of course.
So let's see here. We have 60% off second person on or after Feb 2nd. We're sailing on Star of the Seas 2026. Do I qualify for it? Also, how does the Travel Perks spa treatment work? Do you want to address those, Janice?
Yeah. So, are you already booked on the Star sailing? Because if you're already booked, then it would have already the promotion would already built in there. Because these promos are for new bookings. So if you haven't booked anything, then you'll qualify for this current promotion as well as the Travel Perks Spa promotion.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, and looks like she chose pink, so next
Oh,
prize has the blue towel and
nice.
everything else and more onboard credit for next cruise. So let's spin
Perfect.
my wheel. Spinning. All right, we have Rose D. Is Rose still here? Rose. Duckworth, it looks like. Yep. Looks like she's still here.
Yay, Rose! Yay,
Woohoo!
Caitlin! Woohoo!
Hooray, excellent. And same instructions if you're able to send me your email address, I'll be sure to get in touch and we can get those prizes in the mail and make sure that you are all set up for the onboard credit for your next Royal Caribbean cruise, which is very exciting.
Ooh,
I know I'm ready to go. I'm ready to book another one, even though I got the one coming up, Janice. So
that's right.
might be time to get another one on the books for me.
We love that.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, looks like no other questions coming in. They've slowed down, but Janice, thank you again so much for being here with us today.
Of course.
Lots of comments came in, just great overview and fantastic information. So we really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. And I hope to see you guys on board soon.
Woohoo!
All right. Bye,
Excellent.
Becca. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Janice.